Hello, everyone, and welcome to Movie Mandates, the show where my sister and I force each other to watch movies according to a monthly theme. I'm Andrew.
I'm Kelly.
This month, we're indulging in single location films, movies that take place entirely or primarily in a single location. First up is my mandated movie, Rope, a Hitchcock thriller that is not only presented in a single location, but as a single take. But before we impress you with our ability to spot every film splice, because those edits are very subtle, since I mandated today's movie, it's only fair that Kelly gets to challenge me in a segment we call Trivial Trivia.
Thank you, brother. Um, yeah, I was really excited when I saw that first cut. I was like, um, they are trying to do this as a
As a
oneer. This is
oneer,
really
yeah.
kind of exciting. I knew like it very, very much like a play. We'll get to
Adapted
it.
from a play, which I didn't know until I saw the credits in the
Made me very
front.
much want to direct it. In fact, I was like,
Hmm.
I shall direct this. I don't know where, maybe in my living room. Um, There were, I went down so many. I like trivial trivia because I get to tell you all the things that didn't end up being the trivia. I'm like, let's talk about my process. No. Um, so yes, what I did end up having being the trivial question, is I wanted to go down the clue rabbit hole.
Okay.
However, I have learned that not enough people are killed with candlesticks and lead pipes. It just doesn't happen. There, therefore, that was a daunting task. Even for the internet, that was a daunting task. They
Like,
were
I
like,
don't think Jason Voorhees has killed anyone with a candlestick or a lead pipe. And he killed
yeah.
someone with a weed whacker once. So,
So instead, the title of this here movie is Rope.
hmm.
Rope is the weapon of choice.
Hmm.
Can you name We'll start with three. If they come easy, we're going to move it up to five. It just
Okay.
depends on how your head is working. Because I can think of five, but
Hmm.
it also depends on the process that your head is going through, kind of. So let's start with three, and then I'd like to try to get to five. But movie titles where the weapon which is used in the title of the movie it doesn't have to be the title, like rope
Hmm.
or candlestick. Yeah. But in the title of the movie. I will give you an example because I know for a fact you would have never said this title, like
Okay.
The Gun in Betty Lou's Handbag.
Okay. The
So,
first thing that came to mind, which is a bit of a stretch, but The Naked Gun. The
works.
plot of that first one is they brainwash Reggie Jackson, I think, to kill the queen with a gun, and it's not wearing clothing, so that gun is naked. The Naked Gun.
It's under first,
Uh,
third.
it's under one of the bases. Yeah, I don't.
It's not under second.
I'm
That's
pretty
too
sure it's
far
not second.
away.
It's first or third. It's not under the like
First or
pitcher's
third.
plate. I'm pretty sure
No,
it's first or third. Yeah.
first or third.
I
But yeah,
must kill the queen. Um.
so good. Did you see the new? You did see the new one. I have not yet.
Oh, the Leslie no, Liam Neeson one.
Yes. Yes.
Well, they've got fairly similar names, huh? Yeah, I did. I watched it a little bit ago. It's the like most movies, like most uh broad slapstick comedy movies, there's, a thousand jokes in it. Not all of them land, but I mean, even if only half of them land, that's 500 funny jokes in like 90 minutes, so
There
it's
you
still
go.
good.
Yeah. I do want to see it. I really liked the preview when all of the gentlemen were like looking at the photos of their fathers on the
Mhm.
wall and they're like, for you, dad, and then OJ's in the gut.
It's like, no, no. It's like, well, you can't fight City Hall. No, it's a building. Like, I love jokes like that. Um,
Oh, I love it.
some of my favorite gags in the movie are like, they're inside the police station, and printed on the window of the swinging doors is police squad. But when you're inside, it's lettered backwards because it's for the outside. If you're actually looking, um, one of the words is the wrong way around, so it reads police and then squad is backwards, so it would be reversed on the other side of the door. It's just like, wait a minute. Um, so yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun.
It's exciting.
Um,
Cool.
Christine.
Yes, I'll accept it. Yes,
Okay.
yeah. I actually thought of that one.
Because
I
I
was
thought of
like,
that like a minute ago, and I'm like, I'm amazed I still remember it. I should have said it immediately as I thought of it. Um, no. Volcano.
okay, allowed, I guess. Sure. I mean, no one wielded it.
Uh,
Mother
Mother
Nature maybe
Nature?
did.
Yeah.
She got a little pissy that day.
Um, hmm. No, that doesn't, no. I was thinking, the assassination of whoever by the cap, but there's no weapon in actually in the title, so um neither's Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. But no one kills her, right? She just dies of natural
Gross.
causes.
Yeah. I think she just
Didn't they just remake that within the last couple of years? Am
no
I
one told
No
me.
one told you? Okay. I think they may have. I don't know if it's like direct video or what, but let's see. The Mangler.
Yes, with Robert England.
Yep, yep. Not a very good movie, but people do get. For those who don't know, it's about a possessed laundry press.
Yeah.
I, I can only imagine someone just like either touring a facility or listening to their kid talk about a field trip that they went on, or somehow learning about a giant laundry press and going like, someone could die in that. I'm gonna make a movie where one of them's possessed. Um,
It doesn't, didn't Robert England's character like lose a hand or something to it? Like,
I think he did. I don't. I think that's like his backstory or
yeah, that's
something
his
like that.
backstory.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Got a taste of blood and now wants more.
something
I don't
like
know if
that.
that's the
Yeah,
backstory, but I think he did lose a hand in it.
yeah. What am I at?
Okay.
4?
Four.
Uh, yeah, Nanda's saying, okay, go stop working, Nanda.
No,
We're on my
I don't
work Zoom, so I'm actually
oh
getting messages.
I don't see any Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead since 1991.
Oh,
So
did they change the name when they remade it? Lame. Or am I just dreamed it or something? Um,
something that says remake 2024,
or
but
maybe
maybe
it's
it didn't
still
happen.
upcoming, or maybe it got canceled or something.
Yeah, I'll look into it.
Um, Bullet is not about people shooting each other. It's cars, I think. Um,
Isn't that Steve
oh,
McQueen?
the man with the golden gun.
Hey, that's a good, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's 5.
That is five.
All
I
right.
had
Give me hints
Texas
for some of the ones you were thinking of.
very, very prominent slasher franchise.
Uh, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween, Child's Play, The Hellraiser, ah, hmm, prominent slasher franchise. Oh, Hatchet. Yes, but
Mm,
not the one you were thinking of.
yes, but
Also, I
uh
wouldn't say that one's prominent.
yeah.
No, that one's a little bit more obscure. What are you thinking of?
Uh Leatherface.
Oh, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're like I'm like, are
How are
you
you
not?
missing that one, dude? Oh, Jaws.
And then of course I'm surprised you didn't say your play, the one you were in.
Oh, Arsenic and Old Lace. Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. This actually, I think I brought up Arsenic and Old Lace last episode, and
You should.
it is fair. I mean, it's played straight. It's a thriller instead of a comedy, but
Yes.
it's yeah, two dudes hide a body in like a cedar chest or a hope chest or a buffet or something like that, and try
Mm.
and hide it from house guests.
Yeah.
I think I haven't seen Arsenic and Old Lace in a while. I,
Yeah.
I did the play
It's
like
two old it's two
25
old
years ago,
ladies in
so.
Arsenic and Old Lace, right? That
Oh
are
yeah, yeah, yeah.
poisoning the men?
Oh, right, right, right. Yeah, it's two old ladies, and I think Cary Grant shows up and he finds the body and then he tries to hide it or tries to protect the two. I don't remember.
Don't fully
And
remember.
I
But
did
Hugh
that play,
Grant
but it was
is in
25 years
it.
ago and I don't remember.
Yeah, he it is Cary Grant, so you're correct
What's
about
funny
that.
is
But I
they actually name drop Cary Grant in this movie.
oh yeah. um
I wonder if there
and
was like a little actor rivalry between James Stewart and Cary Grant at the time, and that was like kind of annoying wink, kind of a joke
that's
going.
interesting.
I don't
That's
know.
interesting. Because they're both in the 40s.
Well,
The
they both they both had long careers and played leading men with lady actors in their 20s, long
yeah,
past when they should have.
yeah, yeah,
They were
yeah.
still doing that shit in the 60s, and it was really uncomfortable because that they're in their 60s and they're like being all
Yeah.
sexy with actors who are 22. I'm like, I don't like this.
You're like, no, 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 no. Yeah. And then I wasn't sure the one other like Sling Blade, but he
I
kills at the end with the lawnmower blade, but was he originally in did he the original kill that we don't ever see like that happened in the past? Was that like a Sling Blade? Was
I
that why it was called Sling Blade?
genuinely don't know. That movie bored the hell out of me.
I know it did.
I'm pretty sure I watched the whole thing. I
It,
think it was one of those movies that was so boring I couldn't move. I was just like locked in place for all 5.5 hours or however long it was. Maybe it was maybe it was one of those, oh, it's an amazing movie, or I heard about this, oh, it kills somebody with a lawnmower blade, and I was waiting for that, and it got to
sure.
the end of the movie, I'm like, and it pans up. I'm like, oh, come on.
Doesn't show it. Like I think it
No.
like he goes like this and then it just because
Yeah,
it
he
pans
goes
it
like this,
with
and the
him
camera pans or tilts
with
up
it.
so that the person's off frame, and then he, hacks below frame, and I'm like, oh, well,
Yeah, it was very upsetting because you and I are very much
or hounds, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I also yeah, so yeah, the other one that I was single shot movies, but I can only think of two, so I was like, no, I'm not gonna go there. Um but yeah, I thought that there were yes, because Blade was I thought of Blade as
Oh, blade.
well.
I mean, yeah,
But
sure.
like
He uses a sword. It's a blade.
yeah, I'm like, but there's also Machete.
Machete. Sure.
It's his name, but he uses one. Anyways, um, yeah, I was really hoping for Clue. I thought that'd be fun, but man, no one dies by candlestick anymore. They just like they used. Um, yes, this is all true. So I before we start about the movie, this is about the movie, but not. I enjoy watching films of back in the day because I find age very interesting, right? Because I look at these people in the movie, and I always think, how old are they supposed to be? Because we as a society have become very relaxed. I'm actively wearing jammy pants. You just can't. But we as a society have actively become a lot more laid back in our dress. So like early 20-year-olds look like children. You know, like these, they're talking about prep school, which was only a couple years ago. One would imagine they're newly graduated, like early 20s, right?
Or at least, younger than 30.
Yeah.
They've
But
they've maybe they graduated and they've been doing stuff for a few years.
like because of, the suits and the ties and, you put any dapper,
Mhm.
you put a, 20-year-old in a suit and tie and,
Put
grease his
their
hair and
hair
stuff.
back, yeah.
And there you go. You just added 10 years onto, and, put a woman with her hair and all these little things and that get up and stuff. And you've aged her, made her not like matron age, but just, like you aged them. And so it's a very interesting because I'm looking at them and I'm like,
Aha! The studio will never know we casted a 16-year-old.
yeah, it's so funny. Yeah, it's very funny because I'm like, how it's I'm like, how old are we supposed to be? I'm very confused. Are you young? Are you not? And then
Let's see. She would have been the actor would have been about 25.
oh,
Let's see. What about
how old was Jimmy at this time?
uh
He is
yeah, John Dahl,
ageless.
the guy who played the lead guy, he was born in 1920, so he would have been pushing 30. He would have been about 27, 28. James Stewart, I think, was 1908, so he would have been 40.
Oh, okay. I was saying because he didn't even look that old. He had a little gray, but
Yeah, it looked like they put gray in his
they
hair.
did. They 100% put gray in his hair. But anyways, um,
But it's hard to tell with that era of Technicolor because everything has kind of an unreal palette to the
yes,
to the color.
yeah.
Although I did like the way they utilized color, particularly at the end of the movie with some of the neon signs that are outside flashing the green and the red, and they're bringing that into the room for dramatic effect. I like that. I also thought they had a big scrim cityscape uh, out the window, but they also had a few building models in the foreground to give some parallax and a bit of depth. And they had smoke coming out of some of the stacks, but it doesn't scale right. So it's really clear that it's only about 4 feet away, you know?
Yeah.
But I thought it was really charming.
Did you watch a trailer for this movie at all?
I no, I did not.
Okay. So we did
Mhm.
again
Mhm.
because I always have to ask, do you want to
Oh
watch
God,
with
did they
me?
spoil the whole damn thing?
Yes. Um, which is unfortunate. Also, trailers back in the day, very interesting. Um, Going in though, knowing what I knew about it, I still very much nothing was ruined, to be clear.
Oh, good.
So I'm pretty sure that the enjoyment that I felt for this movie would have still been felt
Okay.
had I not watched the trailer.
Yeah, I had going in, I had no idea this was presented as a one or a single
Yeah,
take.
no, I
I
didn't know
didn't know
that.
that.
And even by the trailer, it doesn't give that
Oh,
away. But what is in
really?
the
You think
trailer?
that would have been and done in a single take?
Not,
Wow.
no, what's in the trailer is an outside scene of Kenneth, the guy who's murdered, and
Wait,
the
wasn't
girl.
David the guy who was murdered, or
Oh, David is the guy. That's right. Kenneth is the other blonde. Kenneth is the other
the one who
the other
wasn't
blonde guy.
murdered?
Yeah, the one that wasn't murdered. No. So In
Wait a
the
minute.
trailers,
Janet dated like every single guy in this movie at one point, except the old
no
guy
one,
who's married and James Stewart.
yeah, except for the brunette guy who is
Oh,
the worst accomplice you could have chosen.
uh,
What is wrong with you? Okay,
Brandon, this guy has no chill.
like he's like, only you and I are superior. I'm like, no,
No.
pardon me. So the trailer, and then we'll get to freaking Brandon,
Okay.
starts off in a park. David and she are sitting on the bench, and it's him going to, he's like, I have to go. I'll see you there tonight. And they give a kiss, and he's like, la la la. And they're like joking, and he's like, and he talks about proposing to her. She's like, I'm not gonna la la la, I'm not listening, I'm not listening. Do it later, do it later. You know, do it when it's romantic, blah blah. And it's like, and I'm sitting there and I was watching, and I was like, oh man, there's gonna be an outside scene. It's not gonna be all a single location, which in my head I'm like, I hope mine's all a single location. I think it is, but let's hope. I knew that yours was gonna be a single location. So what if they're like, Glengarry Glen Ross is very close to single location. It's like 4 locations, but it's not a
Yeah.
single location.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I was thinking
anyways,
about that. I was thinking about our originated on stage month was interestingly, you'd think they'd be single locations, but Glengarry Glen Ross is closer. Like you said, it has about 4 locations, but Cierno de Bert, or it's just called Cierno, not single location at all. That's
not even close.
multi-location. Then
Yeah,
again, not every stage play is single location. Like Les Mis, for example, is just all over the place.
right,
Not even
right,
single time.
right. But that's obviously that scene nowhere in the movie.
Yeah. Did you
And
get the sense that it was cut or that it was made specifically for marketing?
absolutely made for marketing,
Yeah,
which is
Hitchcock did that a
strange,
lot. He shot.
which is also strange because, like, does set up a backstory that is kind of like, oh, interesting. Like, it fits well within the narrative that is there. Like, if you watch the trailer and then you see the movie, actively fits with the narrative that's there. And now that you have seen the movie, you know what they're talking about because they're talking like, that they're talking about a proposal and stuff, but like there is kind of like a code. It's like when you walk by people in a park and you're like, they're saying the word it, and you're like, what does it mean? What does it mean? So it's as if you're eavesdropping on a conversation that you're like, what are they talking about? And then you have to watch the movie to know, but it's like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Because in a regular instance, you would have seen that trailer and then much later in life see the movie rather than me that watched the trailer and then an hour later the movie. Um, but so it was very interesting, very interesting. But yeah, because in the trailer is also the scream of David, um, that opens
Yeah, the movie
the actual
opens on
movie.
an exterior shot of the street in front of the apartment building where the movie takes place. And then once the credits are done going by, you hear ah, ah, ah,
Once
ah,"
the
and then
credits
it
are
cuts into
10 minutes
David
later.
being strangled to death, and the movie kicks off from there.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and I thought it was interesting. I will say when I found it very curious and interesting that they killed him for sport. They killed him to see if they could. They killed him like it wasn't um a vengeful thing. It wasn't a um accidental
Oh yeah,
thing.
they had nothing against this
It,
guy. They had nothing to
yeah, and
gain.
yeah, and it wasn't like an intruder. Like it was because when you
They
mentioned it,
weren't after they weren't like trying
they
to
weren't after
make
her.
Janet eligible. They weren't trying to get money. There was
Um,
no power
yeah,
jockeying or anything. They just were like, uh, I'm pretty sure we can just kill somebody and get away with it.
let's give it a whirl.
Yeah, let's kill somebody and then hide the body and bring a bunch of people including the guy they kill's his fiance and his parents. Although the mom she doesn't show up because she's sick, but
Yeah, so the
they
aunt comes.
invited her, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
And
And
the
then
dad
she
brings
couldn't come,
someone
so
up.
he
Yeah,
brings the aunt. Yeah.
the aunt. That's who it was.
Yeah.
Which is
My
that is
back.
just evil. Their whole thing is, yeah, they're just absolute evil little shits. They're just like, because we just want to prove to ourselves and our old professor guy
Yes,
who
sir.
ran the dorm. I not
Yeah.
sure what his role was. James Stewart. Um, we just want to prove that we can because we're so good that you know we can kill somebody and just get away with it. No one will know any different. Not even James Stewart's good old Rupert. We'll get one over on this guy. He'll
Hey,
never suspect. And it's like
we're gonna put the dead body in a chest and
serve food on
put the
it.
buffet on top of it.
Mhm.
Like the that everyone yeah. And
And then they and then flaunt the murder weapon and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, and it's because when you explained it to me, well, not explained, but like when you mandated the movie and then said that it was, and the very rough overview you gave was just, murder in the apartment and then they
I
throw a
figured it
dinner
would have been
party.
like a second degree murder. Like they
Yeah,
weren't planning on,
exactly.
they're like, oh shit, we killed this guy and we've got a dinner party in 5 minutes. How are we going to get away with this?
Yes.
No, no, no.
No,
They hosted a dinner party just to
on
prove that they
purpose.
could, yeah, on purpose, right after they invited him early so that they could kill him and hide his body and get through a dinner party.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was very, very interesting. But the very opening, they kill him, and one of them, Brandon, is cool as a cucumber. He smokes a cigarette. He's like,
He's
got this on
almost
lock.
orgasmic over it.
Yeah, a little
Like
bit.
he's got kind of shuddery breath going. I'm like, my, was it good for you, sir? No wonder you're having a cigarette.
Yeah. And then
Excuse me, I must go clean up.
immediately, Philip is
Hmm.
like, don't turn on the lights. I'm not ready yet. And like from go, Philip is this way. And I'm just like, well, this is a poor choice of co-conspirator,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
friend.
I'm like,
Because he even says, he being Brandon, consistently, we are the superior ones. That is why I chose you and not Rupert. But like we'll get to I have thoughts and feelings.
well, he wants to prove to Rupert that
Yeah.
he has earned the self-assigned title of superior. See, we are the superior ones that you've morbidly, humorously, apparently spoke of. That I, as a little evil psychopathic shit, just kind of latched onto, even though you
Yeah.
clearly didn't mean that for that to happen.
I'm going to I'm going to take issue
Okay.
with Rupert for a moment.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
yeah.
you're
He
like, well,
feels
yeah.
kind of whatever you take issue with. By the end of the movie, I think Rupert has the same issue. I think he self-reflects and is
Well,
probably
yes.
coming to the same conclusion that you are.
Yeah, well, but it's also very interesting because so they're having this dinner party and there is something uh that was said before and then it is expounded upon and by Rupert. And it's basically about murder and superiority. And so James Stewart gives, an oration about um, you know, but murder solves so many problems. And he's like, think about it. You're in line for shoes and you can just kill the people in front of you and then you're the first in line. And he gives examples, like that. Like if you want something and someone's ahead of you, if you killed them, you would be the first in line. If you, these,
Mhm.
someone is in your way. And
Which
he
is
says,
absurd, but
yes,
he delivers it completely flat. It gives no visual
affect.
or
Yeah.
verbal indication that he's kidding.
Right. He doesn't. However, he says something after that. Like after he says that, he says something about you can't just go around killing everybody, though. So
Hmm.
he does make a point that although it's true, and everyone kind of is laughing, although, yeah, he has no change in affect. Like, everyone is kind of laughing, and it is kind of like take away everything. Yeah. Like it would just like there are people that I'm like, it would just be so much easier. Like if I just killed you, it would just be I mean, I wouldn't have to deal with you anymore. Fantastic.
Hmm.
Well, to live in society. So I can get past that whole front part because I think, and I can tell by how everyone else is reacting to it and how he's accepting of their reaction and how he even says that's just too much murder because then everybody like how do you
Hmm.
decide
Yeah.
that's too much
Yeah.
so he describes it would just be easy but you can't so
Right.
toppled but then he goes on
Hmm.
to but there is a moral superiority somewhere. There are people who are better, and maybe we have the purge. Like, he foresaw the purge.
Yeah, yeah, is like
Maybe we have a murder week. We have an axe
strangle a
day.
person week or something like
Yes,
that. Like you
strangle your
can't do it
neighbor
every
day.
day.
He's like, you can't do it all the time. Maybe it's just a little bit. And, there's designated people who are allowed. And of course, the political side of me was like, this sounds a lot like getting rid of the riffraff. And I don't like. That
Mhm.
sounds a lot like that to me.
Well,
Um,
his examples were, I'd have to go back and look, but his examples were all just average people in your way or service workers of a sort.
yeah.
Like ticket
Yes.
takers or
Yes.
restaurant table servers,
Yes.
things like that. So yeah.
Yeah. And so like lowly low. And so it very much veered to me. Political side of me, it very veered on like, ooh, you are kind of hitting but again, this is 48. I'm going to remove myself because it's 48.
Yeah,
Okay, so but
Rupert, to my read, Rupert is kidding, but he also does have a superiority complex. He does, to some extent, believe in superior and inferior,
yes,
ill-defined though it may be. But what I
yes,
like is by the end of the movie, and it's quick. It's only an 80-minute movie.
it's quick.
So, I mean, they don't really dwell on it, but I think James Stewart's performance in this is really nice.
It was
Uh,
very good.
he's coming to grips with, well, that whole superior inferior thing, boy, that was a bunch of hogwash that led to some really terrible things. I'm gonna have to rethink that. Like I think he realizes that to an extent, not majority extent, but to some extent, he's responsible for this. He wasn't just their peers, he was like their role model. They looked up to him and he set an example, a standard that they tried to follow and meet and even surpass. So he realizes that incredibly um toxic and or destructive viewpoint wrought, though unintentional, sure, wrought real permanent damage and
Right.
harm.
And I do think that he played the ending well with
Yeah.
with
Because I
the
totally thought it was going to be like a Sherlock Holmes kind of and the culprit is you. We're going to have that scene at the end of the movie where and they figure out the thing. No. He
no.
actually he figures out something's going on pretty immediately and then is pretty sure by like the last third of the movie. And then he goes home. And then he's like, shit, and comes back, but then almost talks himself out of it again. But Brandon actually makes him go through with it because he's like, well, I mean, you could have taken the body outside and dumped it in the river or something. It's like, well, I guess there's no way to find that out. I'm out of here. But then Brandon is like, oh, no. But as you said,
Really
it
like,
was daytime, so we couldn't have done that. So what might we have done instead? Brandon won't let
no, he
him
won't.
alone.
Well, because Brandon wants
Won't
to
let him get out of this situation.
brag.
Yeah, yeah. He needs Rupert to praise him.
Yeah.
And I think he's genuinely stunned that he's like, what the hell is wrong with you, dude? I mean, yeah, I said that, but seriously, what is wrong with you?
And I think that that is the one that's what I'm having issue with is that he he being Stuart
Mhm.
says in his final soliloquy, you took my words out of context, or you've mangled them into something that I did not mean, or but he
Yeah,
says
this
that,
is not what I intended. It
and
maybe
I
was
was,
what I said, but that's not what I meant,
and I
kind
was
of a
like,
thing.
oh,
Yeah, but I don't feel the movie is letting him off the hook. That's one
yeah,
thing I appreciate about this film is to me, the film is not advocating Rupert's perspective.
right. Because he does go quite hard on every human life is like he's like,
Yeah,
we're all
yeah.
human, and I know that now.
Yeah.
This man didn't do
The
anything
father
to
who
you.
pushes back against that whole murder of the week discussion, um, that seems to be the film's viewpoint. It's like, yeah, that's terrible. It's like it's kind of funny to jokingly think about over alcohol, but dude, that's gross. Don't do that. I mean,
Absolutely.
at least wink when you're doing things like that. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, and I
Um,
think that that's a very important part in that, like, even then, when I think, like, I truly believe that he was joking when he's like, just get rid of the people in front of you in line so you can check out earlier, do this so you can see the
Right,
movie first.
right.
I,
Like I said, I think he's genuinely kidding, but I also think that he genuinely harbors a hierarchical um how did Brandon phrase it? The not intellectuals, the superior and the inferior. I think
yes,
Rupert did harbor some
yes,
actual worldview that categorized some people into superior and others as my inherent inferiors.
yes. But
Like,
he
I
also
would
does
never
not,
kill these people. I could, but I
yes,
wouldn't do that. But, I totally could because I'm superior. But,
I
right.
am better than
Yeah,
them, and
I
I do
am
think I'm
better than
better than
them,
them.
but I'm so much better
Yeah,
that I wouldn't just kill them
yeah.
because I'm so much better. Right. So I do think the man had a superiority complex and got life splashed him in the face with some cold water by the end of
But
the
I think
film.
it's because of how he delivers. Like he is such a like because it's true. Like, and I think that that's what upset the father so much is that the father had no. He's like, I can't tell if you're being truthful or
Yeah.
not, so I'm just gonna go straight to anger, tell you how bullshit I think you are, and
Mhm.
stop this conversation. And that for a man like Brandon to hear someone that he respects say things like, just, get people out of your way and talk about inferior and superior and everything and kind of deliver everything with the same
Yeah.
importance is going to
I
be
th-
confusing
I
to a man
think
like
for
Brandon.
Brandon, the real loss at the end of the film, the real loss is not I'm going to jail.
Oh,
It's Rupert doesn't respect.
yeah, yeah,
I didn't earn his praise and admiration and respect. He looks down on me. He thinks I'm a slime ball.
yeah,
I think for Brandon, that's that's the loss.
yeah. And but I found it very it was a very enjoyable movie. I thought it was very I
Mhm.
mean obviously
Yeah,
I think
I quite liked
I
it.
I did. I thought it was very good. I dare you to guess my favorite part.
Well, I'll tell you my two favorite parts.
Probably one of mine.
and we'll see if it's one of yours. And I have a backup third.
Okay.
And they're all filmmaking, film craft kind of things. Um, one is um, when Mrs. Maid Lady,
Okay.
um,
I forget her
Wilson,
name.
Wilson.
What? Wilson. Okay.
Um, I think that I got the right character. I think so.
Yeah,
Uh,
Wilson.
when she's the dinner is over and everyone's talking, but
Yes.
Hitchcock focuses the camera on what she's doing. She's the only one in frame, and you start realizing she's clearing the not the table, but the the the
That spread.
the
The
spread
dinner
that's
spread.
the makeshift coffin, and she's taking it, and you're like, even though these guys are evil scumbags, you're like, oh no, oh no. And the camera's not there's a bunch of action and dialogue
It's a
going
whole
on, and you're not
conversation.
focused. You're watching her, and no one's paying attention to her, but you, the audience, are. And this is like 2 minutes of watching her clear the table
Yes.
and bring the books back in. It's like she's gonna put the books back in the case, or back in the box, isn't she? She's gonna find the body. I loved that. That's such great filmmaking right there.
No, that was really good. I liked that. I liked
Uh,
that a lot. Because
the
it's a
other
full conversation
Yeah, yeah.
that they're having over
And
there.
a relevant one too. You
Yes.
need to be paying attention to it.
You
It's
yes.
not completely superfluous. It is relevant. But which is an interesting thing, because a difference between on the stage and on film is, as a stage director, there's not nothing you can do, but there's only so much you can do to direct the audience's focus where you want it to be. Like like you can darken the stage and spotlight if you're like, I need you to pay attention to this and nothing else, right? But filmmakers have a larger directors of film rather have a larger bag of tricks. You can do close-ups, you can do depth of field stuff that puts backgrounds or foregrounds out of focus. You can use framing to direct the eye. You can, or what Hitchcock does in this scene, you can cut the action out of the frame to ensure people aren't watching what you don't want them to be paying attention to. So, I love the fact that I can imagine Hitchcock sitting there and like, haha, whoever directed this play couldn't do this. You know? The other scene that I really, really loved was when Rupert was grilling Philip at the piano, and Rupert was playing, and kudos to the actor to I don't to play. I don't, they may have replaced that sound, but it was probably live.
My
It is
gosh.
really hard to play and talk at the same time, at least for me,
And
with a
then
metronome that he's not listening to.
that he's not playing with.
Right. But what I
I was like,
really but what I really
how
loved was what he was playing, and particularly the tempo and the number of mistakes he was making was uh directly his emotion, right? The more frantic and nervous he got, the faster the tempo got, and the more mistakes he started making. Oh my God, I loved that. That was so well done.
Jimmy called it
His
out.
his his playing was a direct reflection of his emotional ups and downs throughout that entire sequence, and love that.
And Jimmy calls it out because he even says, he's like, you really like this piece, don't you? Because he just is like playing the same thing over and over because he's just, it's like, it, it- yeah.
Yeah, he's
And
kind of
I
stuck
was,
on the same melody for a while.
yeah, he was just stuck on it. But like, I found that fascinating because then they turn the metronome on and I'm like, you're, I don't know how you don't just accidentally fall into keeping. So I'm like, something
He
is not,
does at some points,
he
and
does at some
it's
point, and then it
he's he's falling in line with what Rupert is doing. He's matching that tempo, but then he gets nervous and starts
gets, yeah.
getting to his own erratic tempo and starts actually making mistakes. I think that's probably why they did a simple melody loop with what he was playing, so that even not a
So that
trained ear
you can
could
hear it
really
as a
hear
layman.
that's definitely not the correct note, right?
Yeah. because you as you would notice anyways, but like
I
as a
would
layman,
probably notice. Yeah,
yeah,
because
as a layman,
I can
yeah,
hear like, well, that's not the right chord. That's discordant in a way I don't think is intentional.
yeah. Um, so mine was dialogue.
Okay.
Who wrote the play? So I did,
I don't think I recognized the name.
no. I will say I agree that that in direction I loved it when she was I loved how she was clearing the table. I did love that direction. That was one of my favorites. I actually also truly enjoyed the decision at the end of and I'll get to my dialogue thing in the moment. Um
Patrick Hamilton?
well, doesn't mean much to me.
Yeah, never heard him.
When Jimmy fires the gun out the window,
Yeah,
um for people to call the police because in a way it's like he just can't do it, you know. And then he just sits in that chair and Philip is over there like and then Brandon's like, well, I'm just gonna drink my drink, so yep, this sucks, this you yeah, it's a beautiful, it's a great ending. Like I really, and then you see the like, and that's when the lights are coming in. Like you were saying, like that's when you get to kind of feel a little bit
because at
of
this point
ambiance, the outside world.
it's nighttime, and the
Yeah,
neon lights from other buildings. You've
and
got
it
those
kind of
green and reds flashing into it's
and
great.
it and like the reality of like we were so insular for so long, you know. I mean, for 80 minutes, but whatever. But like but like the idea is like we
Efficient
were
little movie, yeah.
yeah, but these two gentlemen who you know they had everything on lock, they had everything planned, they had, and he never makes mistakes. That's like a big deal. And then all of a sudden, the windows open, and like this whole rush of you know honking and did you hear something? And like all sort like some siren in the back, like reality rushing in and things that are chaos and that out of control. And then I love a back to a camera. When I did I can't even remember what it was called. It was Lanford Wilson play. What the hell was it called? But Justine.
You mean a character who turns their back to the camera or audience viewpoint?
Yes, I'm sorry, I'm talking.
Okay, I'm like most cameras do have a back on them. It's like the
No, I
battery
meant
case usually.
because Jimmy ends with his back to the audience. He sits in that chair and he ends with his
Facing
back
that
to us.
panoramic window.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love that. I because it finally creates that it's a complete space, you know. Everything
Mhm.
else has been played to the fourth wall.
Mhm.
But like it now close like as it opens the outdoors, it like closes us. And I just think it's I love a good seeing someone's back. You have no idea what he's doing on his face, and yet you know exactly how he feels. He's defeated, he's upset, like, and it's just it's really great. So I really enjoyed, I loved the ending and then it was done. No, but I really, so I liked for the direction I like, but my dialogue
Mhm.
was when the ladies um uh were talking about their favorite movies and actors
Oh,
in,
gee,
you know,
yeah.
something. What that something with the something and that something something.
I love that Rupert keeps making fun of her for that.
And he just keeps going. He goes, I saw her in something too. What was that? Something. Yeah, something. It was something. Oh, something. I'm just like, I'm dying. He does it again. Like it drops, and then I think like 10 minutes later, he
He
says it
brings it up
again.
again.
He
Yeah.
brings it up again, and I'm like, you're an asshole, and I love
Yeah,
it.
Janet catches him doing
She
that. All
goes,
she's like,
shh.
"Oh my God, dude, you're
Yes,
just being mean now because she's
yeah,
not picking up what you're putting down."
yeah.
Um,
But oh wow, it was. But no, that I was. It was such a um That's Neil Simon-y. Like if that now that's
It
that
yeah, yeah, it was kind of Neil Simon-y that dialogue pattern
pattern.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but no, I thought that was hilarious.
What I find kind of amusing is that whole firing the gun at, rather than I'm going to hold you at gunpoint and call the police, I'm just gonna fire the gun out the window and people are like, "Oh my gosh, shots fired. Oh gosh, somebody call the police." I'm like, this would not be believable if they'd made this movie in the 70s or later. It's like, did you hear gunshots? Yeah, probably. It's New York. What do you want? We got really cynical in a couple of decades. It's like
That,
firing a gun out the window isn't going to draw anyone's attention.
yep, it'll either be that or none of
Hey,
my
asshole,
business.
stop firing your gun. Some people trying to sleep. Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Um, I was thinking a couple times during the movie that I wonder if Hitchcock why he shot this square like 4 by 3 or something. It's let me see if
Not, I mean, that's,
137 by 1, so it's pretty square.
oh, yeah.
um and I'm like that's and I think he was just going for the because there were a lot of scenes where I was looking at where people's the cameras like here their faces half cut off, and I'm like, that's an odd choice. We had widescreen aspect ratios at that time, but I'm gonna guess that Hitchcock went with the more square aspect ratio just to keep that real claustrophobic sense for yeah, that uncomfortable claustrophobic sense for the sake of thrills and drama and suspense and stuff.
Yeah.
And while some people we're standing uncomfortably close to each other a lot of the time. I'm like, so they could both be in frame. My guess is that that was the intention behind that. Or maybe it was like a mechanical thing because they were shooting 10 to 12 minute takes at a time. Maybe
That's true too.
maybe a square film came on longer reels or something like that, and they could actually get away with shooting. God, that must have been frightening because you only have so much film, and it's like, okay, we have to get through all of this and zoom in on this person's back so we can
Part it.
splice two different
Yeah.
reels together. We have to get there before we run out of film.
Right.
And if we screw this up, it's like you can't record over it. We got to get a new reel.
Where's Rope on his, when did he start directing? Oh, in the 20s.
Like the th 20s that early? I was gonna say the 30s, but okay. Yeah, journeyman director. What I find interesting is the more Hitchcock I see, because when you're a younger film fan, you probably start out with the Hitchcock classics, the undisputed creme de la creme.
Yeah.
Uh, but as I get older and I see more and more of his oeuvre, I realize that Hitchcock was kind of hit and miss. He's got some high highs, but he's got some movies that flat out suck.
Yeah.
You know,
Have you seen 39 Steps? That's one I'd like to see.
I
I've never seen that one.
I don't think I've seen that one. That's definitely on my list.
Yeah, that one's on my
Um,
list. I don't think it's single location, so that's not on my list for this, but
no.
it's on my one day I'll
Um,
watch it,
the
one day
last
with like copious free time.
the last little film
Yeah.
craft thing that I just really enjoyed was when Brandon they find that the rope that they used to strangle David with is sticking out of the makeshift coffin. He's like, "Oh, okay." And he grabs it, but then the people start showing up and he's still carrying it around and Jeremy? No, Philip. Philip is he's like, "Dude, you're still carrying it." It's like, "What? It's a piece of rope. Everyone's got rope. I'm just gonna go put it in the kitchen drawer." He's like, "Do do 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 do," just kind of swinging it around. And the door to the kitchen
Yes.
is a swinging hinge door. And so the way it's blocked is he pushes through the door into the kitchen, so it swings in, and then it closes, and then it swings back open, and you can see him opening the drawer. and then it swings closed and it swings past and you see him hold the thing and drop it in and then it closes again. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I think brilliant.
ah,
Yeah, I loved it. And in the foreground, off to the side, is someone coming in, or Mrs. Everly. What is
yeah,
her name?
the front door is there.
Mrs. Weatherby, Wilson, whatever, getting
Yeah.
someone from the front door.
Oh, something you mentioned about a perfect crime is it's not perfect. They make a mistake and no one catches it, and it's David's hat is in the closet. No one thinks of that and no one catches it. But the audience, Hitchcock is sure to looks like, look, that's David's hat. And no one catches it. Even Rupert doesn't really he's already pretty clear that David's dead and his body is probably on the premises, but he's not really paying attention to that. But the audience is, and you're like, they forgot about his hat. His hat is in the closet. Oh my God. And no one figures that
He
out.
says it. He be when he does his scenario of here's how it
He
could
does
have
mention, yeah, he's
happened.
like, I take his hat and I blah 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 blah, but he doesn't make a deal about it. Like, there's no like the John Dahl, yeah, Brandon's actor doesn't like, uh-oh, oh shit, the hat. There's none of that.
They know. I think,
He's
well,
either
maybe it
not
is for
thinking of it or
us.
playing it very, very cool.
See, because he's like, I take his hat and I do that. Like, I think he was trying to, for those of you in the audience that didn't get D and K were Dave's initials,
Yeah.
I'm going to stop on the word hat. Um, Maybe that was just for the because when he didn't put on his head and Mrs. Weatherby or whatever. Why do I say that? Was there a Weatherby in this?
I,
That was just
no, the it was Kentley, right?
Wilson. Oh,
Kentley.
Kentley is yeah,
It
yes,
was the
Kentley and
family name.
Wilson. Okay.
Mrs.
Um,
Wilson, I think, was the caretaker.
yeah, the character, yeah. So she's like, oh, that's not your hat. I'll get you the other one. Um, it's interesting that she didn't be like, who's it? Because like,
Yeah, she probably just figured it was Brandon or Philip's hat.
true, that's true,
Oh,
true.
that's not your hat.
Yeah, but
Just
it
another
is.
gray hat.
Yeah,
Whatever.
it is true. That's not your hat. This is your hat. That's not a knife. This is a
It's
knife.
oh, nice.
Yeah,
So, did
but
you watch this film with anyone? Did Jeremy watch
Jeremy.
it with you, or what do he think?
Oh well, actually,
Oh, he got long into bed.
he fell asleep,
He fell asleep. Okay.
and he was next to me. Yes, and he started it, and then he fell asleep, and he woke up, and he looks at me and goes, "I missed the whole thing," and I go, "It was good," and he goes, "Oh," and I'm like, "You miss all the movies that we try to watch together. Like I don't, whatever."
Didn't he just come back from like a week and a half in
Yeah, and
Oklahoma
he's
or wherever the hell he was?
he's still at work.
Oh, is he still? Oh, okay.
So the man is tired.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm 2 hours ahead of you. The man's still at work.
yeah.
Um, and he leaves next Friday
More work.
for more work.
Yeah.
And this time, this one is he goes to one location and then takes from that location to another one. So he doesn't even come home in between.
Hmm.
Whatevs. It's crazy. But that's all right. I watched it and enjoyed it. I did. And then high praise. I loathe Jimmy Stewart, and it's a big contention in this relationship.
Oh, Jeremy likes Jimmy Stewart. Yeah, I generally don't like Jimmy Stewart either.
Yeah, I know you
I
do.
find him annoying. I
Oh my
actually
God.
liked him in this though. Maybe I
Yes.
just don't like him as a leading man. As a supporting character, maybe I just like him a lot better because he's got acting chops. He's
Yeah.
got charisma. I just generally don't. Whenever I'm like, oh, I've heard of this movie. Oh, Jimmy Stewart. I always roll my eyes whenever it's James Stewart, right? But
From he,
I enjoyed him in this. I
yeah.
thought he did a really nice job with this supporting role.
Yes, I would agree with you. I would agree. I was not annoyed by his presence in the slightest. I was like, this character fits you. It's great. You're chewing the right amount
Let's
of
see.
scenery.
Yes.
So yeah, no, I was happy with it. Very nice. Very
All right,
nice.
cool. So, as single location month continues, what movie do you mandate?
As per usual, it's gonna be much longer than yours. The Lighthouse.
Oh, good.
I
I've
have
I've
not
been
seen.
wanting to see that.
Me too. I have
Is
definitely
it
been
The
wanting.
Lighthouse or is it just Lighthouse?
I think it's the
I don't know. I know which way you're talking about
Willem Dafoe,
Defoe and Robert Pattinson
Pattinson. Yeah,
and their magnificent fake beards.
yeah.
Okay.
And their descent into madness.
I think it's black and white, right? Is
It is black and
that
white.
another Eggers movie?
No,
No,
I
who
don't know who. I forget at the moment who it is, but I don't think it is. And I will eat my shoe. No, I'm joking. I won't. If it is, but I don't really think it
it
is.
is Robert Eggers.
It is.
Yeah. How's it be?
Well, I'll be.
Yeah,
That's.
boy.
You know what? That's exciting
Yeah.
because that's good.
I've at the very least I've not seen The Northman. That's his too, right?
Yeah, I've seen that one.
I've not seen, although I hear there's a naked fight in a volcano or something like that. Um,
I haven't seen
uh,
Nosferatu.
I just saw that like a month or two ago. Definitely worth a watch, particularly if you have seen the one from the 20s. Um, it's it's another movie with an impressive mustache. Eggers is an interesting filmmaker. I have not liked all of his films, but I have not disliked any of his films. I have always, at the very least, found them very interesting and fun to talk about. So yeah,
Yes.
I'm looking forward to this.
Well, exciting. There you go.
All right. Well, today's episode may have come to an end, but we'll be back in a couple of weeks with Kelly's mandated movie, The Lighthouse. And I just checked. Yes, it's The Lighthouse, which
Not just
kind of
any old
wh-
the.
which is funny because as I was going through various single location films, I started noticing a pattern of how many of them are single word titles, like Rope, but there's also Frozen, which is that people trapped on a ski lift movie.
Yes, this
Fall,
Fushi
which
Fushi recommended that one, Frozen, and I was like,
yeah,
I
I
don't
think
know,
it's
but like, yeah,
Adam Scott, Adam Green, Adam something. The same guy, I think the same guy who did Hatchet, come to think of it. A Fall, people climb up a tower and get stuck up there because the ladder breaks. Buried, which I think is Ryan Reynolds gets buried alive or he's trapped in a trunk. That's I think there's a different movie, the person trapped in a trunk the entire movie.
that's
Circle, uh
yes, 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 yes.
yeah, so there's just a bunch of movies where single location is just a single word title, but then you have The Lighthouse. But anyway,
Yeah,
and I guess
yeah,
you have Phone Booth, which is two words.
yeah.
Call
Cube.
Carol, I think.
There's
Well,
several.
I mean, yeah, I mean, there's several rooms in the cube, but I guess it's one location. Anyway, let me continue the Lighthouse. Right. If you'd like to watch The Lighthouse, check out the description to see where it's currently streaming or available to rent. Until then, you can watch Movie Mandates on YouTube or listen to it in podcast form on iTunes. If you like the show, want to help us reach a wider audience, then like, comment, listen, rate, review, all that stuff. Thank you much. With that, I'm Andrew. You can follow me on Blue Sky at Andrew Eisen.
My turn. I'm Kelly. You can follow me at Pimento Olivia on Instagram. I was really excited listening to the Blue Sky song in my head.
Yeah, blue sky,
Always.
smiling.
It will never end. Ever.
Nothing but blue skies, shall I see? All right. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Movie Mandates. We will be back soon with another mandated movie. Bye, everyone.